Good morning. I hope everything's great in your life today and that you're going to have a tremendous week. Well, it's a beautiful time of year and life is good. I want to think with you today for just a little bit about just an interesting question that came to Jesus. It's in Mark chapter 9, and Jesus is approached by John, one of the 12, and all of the 12 are around him when it happens. It's beginning in verse number 38 of Mark chapter 9. And listen to what John says. We saw someone driving out demons, and it was in your name. And we told him to stop because he's not one of us. I think that's such an interesting statement. Here's John, one of the apostles, and lo and behold, as they're walking around and listening to people, maybe talking to friends and neighbors, they find this guy that is going out and teaching and preaching about Jesus and doing miracles in his name. And John says, we told him to quit that. He wasn't one of our crowd, so we told him to stop. Now listen to how Jesus responded to him. Do not stop him. Well, Lord, why not? He's not in our crowd, so why not? Jesus said, for no one who does a miracle in my name can in the next moment say anything bad about me. For whoever, now listen to this, whoever is not against us is for us. Truly, I tell you, anyone who gives you a cup of water in my name because you belong to the Messiah will certainly not lose their reward. Wow, what a statement. You know, I've heard, and I'll bet you have, many times people quote the verse where Jesus said pretty much the opposite, and that is, whoever is not for us is against us. And so we've used that a whole lot, that if you're not really working on the side of Jesus and trying to be the person that he wants you to be, you're actually against him, voting against him, acting against him, not living the kind of life that he wants you to live. But isn't it interesting that sometimes we get so caught up in our own thing, in our own world, in our own little group, in our own little congregation, if you will, or our party, and whatever it might be, that we get the idea that no one else could ever be doing the right thing because they're not part of our group. And so John, sort of typical of the way people think, would say, you got to stop that. You're not in our crowd. You can't do those things. You can't be out talking about Jesus like that. So stop. And Jesus said, don't do that. Don't have that kind of attitude. I want you to be one that realizes that if you're not against me, you're for me. You know, think about it. If I use that standard to look at things, what a difference it would make in my whole attitude about life and about spiritual matters as a whole. If I could just have the heart that Jesus demonstrated, that if you're not against me and fighting against me, you're really on my side. That's a different world than the way we usually look at things in life. I wonder really how much we allow a political kind of arena around us to affect the way we look at life generally. And how we even look at life from the standpoint of the church or the cause of Christ or just how we ought to be in the kingdom of God. I keep falling back to that thought of Jesus saying, judge not that you be not judged. With the same judgment you judge, you will be judged. And what are you doing trying to get a speck out of your brother's eye when you've got a 2x4 in your own eye? Get it out of your eye first. Then look to get the speck out of your brother's eye. Maybe we need to change the way we look at some things.